All right, we're rolling. All right, so I'm super excited. Like, we have the multi-hyphenated, talented, beautiful, funny, sweet, kind, God-fearing. There's so many adjectives that I could say for you. But simply, thank you, Vee, for being here, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, ladies.
So
hey, Mimi.
let's just jump right into it. Like, you know, from the moment that I met you, like, you're such a genuine spirit and so sweet and so creative. Like, you go hard or go home with everything that you do. And I so admire that, you know, being a creative myself, like when we did the shoot together for Grind Pretty, it was like so exciting. And even when we did like the launch with your birthday, like that was something so special.
Yes, it was.
But I wanted to talk about like, well, two things. Well, I'll start off with like, you know, you have so much you're doing, and being a creative. Like, how do you what's your creative process? Like when you're coming up with things, like how do you come up with all this great stuff?
Somebody asked, well, hello, ladies.
Hi.
Yes, someone asked me that today. I was in the mall, and they were like, girl, that skit you did was so funny. How you be coming up with that? And I tell them, like, it's all in my mind. And, you know, I laugh at my own self. Because if you ain't laughing at yourself, that means you ain't funny. Okay, to me. You know, so everything comes through my mind. And once it's in my mind, I'm like, all right, I got to figure it out. Where's the boots? Where's the hat? Where's this? Even down to business. Like, if it's in my mind, if it's in my heart, and it will not let me sleep, that means I need to get to it. You know, I'm calling the agents. I'm calling my managers. I'm calling everybody up at night. Like, I got this bomb idea. It's going to make us some money. Let's do it. So for me, it comes in my spirit, man, and it comes in my mind. Yeah.
So is there like, because I know you want to do a lot of things when you're creative, right?
Right.
You know, actress. Well, let's just start from like influencer, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you and others like Desi and B. Simone and like you've created a whole lane that I feel like now influencers are the celebrities, and you're getting these opportunities. You know, how do you feel like, because the next generation is coming up under you, right? Well, I guess maybe what advice would you give to someone who is, you know, a creator that wants to elevate their career and work with brands or get in front of the camera in a different way?
I mean, I would say to anybody that is trying to create or to be an influencer, to be a TikToker, to be a YouTuber, actor, actress, stay consistent. You know, I mean, every day is somebody new doing this, like all that. I'm like, what's that? You know, like, it's just a lot going on, you know? And I'd be like, Jesus. But, I mean, they consistent. You know, it's a whole different world on TikTok. It's a whole different world on Snapchat. It's a whole different world on Facebook. I mean, it's just the same entity, but it's different people doing dope things. Not just me, not just B. Simone, not just Drewski, not just Desi, Funny Marco, J. Cole, BBQ. It's a lot of us, but we're all so different. And the way we move is just the consistency of it all. Like some days I don't post. Some days I'm working on my computer on a Zoom call, trying to make sure I have different merchandises in stores or different things or different collabs I need to be doing, because the skit could hold off for like 5 minutes, because if you funny, your audience gonna be there. And furthermore, your audience wants to see growth too. On the table all day, girl, where your money at? You know, how are you gonna turn funny into money? How is that going to help you pay your bills? That's fine, the consistency works, and when you're consistent, you make money. But for me, it's like I got to do things on the back end that you all don't see. And I'm in that lab getting it done. But I'm also on the table doing skits because I have an audience that wants to see that as well. So I'm just balancing it all. But I would say to anybody that's trying to break through, stay consistent. Furthermore, stay prayed up, because God gonna give it to you. And there's a process before the promise. So when he gives it to you, hold on to it, because it's a gift. And when you ruin your gift and when you don't know how to take care of your gift, it goes to someone else. And someone else takes care of it because God could trust them now. So I think to any creator out there, just take your time, have fun. Don't let it become a job. Don't let it become work, because when it's your gift, you're supposed to have fun with it. Yes, we have moments where it gets hard and I got to figure this out, I got to do this, but have fun. And once you have fun, it shows in your outer man. And then when it shows in your outer man, it shows in your inner man that, oh my God, I'm enjoying it. You stop breaking out. Come on, skin. You stop stressing. You stop stressing because you know the flow of things now. You know the formula, and you know you're getting it done. Because I used to be like, I got to drop skits 3 times. I got to do 3 videos a day. It's like, girl, take your time. You know, so just stay consistent.
Absolutely.
So my question for you is, throughout this journey, who has been your main influences?
I mean, all my friends are, you know, so inspiring to me. But Jim Carrey is my favorite, you know, human being. So I look at him. I go down to the Wayans brothers. If I'm in my bed, I study that. People study stand-up. I study movies. I study Cara Bonnet.
Okay.
I study Whoopi Goldberg. I study the Keenan Wayans, the Kim Wayans, because I'm such a physical comic that I have to move around. And not to say that stand-up comics are not that, because DC Young Fly is all over the stage. But for me, like, hello, he crazy. But for me, it's like I want to focus there. So all my peers are inspiring to me, but I go for those ones that came before me.
Okay, so is there anyone that you can call, let's say, while you're on this journey? I'm sure that everything is not just full of highs. So if we can kind of go into, like, what about the days that you are having a low one?
1, God. 2, my mom.
Okay.
3, Charlamagne. 4, Cat Williams. You know,
nice.
B. Simone, Desi, Drewski, DC Young Fly. So, yeah.
That's good. So can you tell us, what's a typical day for Pretty Vee?
Child. You know, getting up in the morning, one thing about it, Jesus, thank you so much for waking me up this morning. Then I go into my gospel. I'm a Clark Sisters. I'm a Pace Sisters. I'm a back in the days commission. It was before, probably not before my time, but right in the midst of it all, I like the new gospel, but I'm so into the old one because I feel like they had a time to stomp on the devil's heads. You know, it was a time we had to fight for something. And I get to it. You know, I think of something I have to do today. I go to my Zooms. I get my calendar up. I start getting to my bookings. I start getting to my meetings, and then I'm here or I'm, you know, out of town. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure that you're doing what you love. I mean, you sound like it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, how did you know that you were stepping into your calling? Like, what did that look like?
How did I know I was stepping into my calling? I think, too, for me, I'm living in an answered prayer.
Okay.
So once I got a phone call from Essence and McDonald's and, you know, Nick hiring me to be, you know, one of the comics on the show, once I'm able to buy a home, once I'm able to know that my mom is okay, I feel like I'm in it, you know? And I think sometimes, too, we work so much that you don't even know you're in it.
Right.
You know, and I had a birthday last year, and I said the theme of my birthday is going to be being present in my blessing, because we work so much that we forget, like, girl, you just opened up for Oprah Winfrey. Please take it in. You know, I'm speaking that in manifestation. But, you know, you just got on this big Essence stage. You just sold out merch. You just did, and we're not sitting in it. And I think how I knew was just waking up and really knowing, like, I'm really doing this. Like, I really don't have a 9 to 5. I'm really not clocking into nobody else's, you know, formula but mine and God. Like, I'm enjoying the process. So that's how I knew when I'm able to get up out my bed. There's nobody in my house but me and God. I'm able to call my mom. I'm able to go to sleep for 4 or 5 days and still make my money. I'm like, this is what it's supposed to feel like, and I'm supposed to be here. So that's how I knew, for real.
That's good.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I know that you just quickly touched on
helping girls too. I got to go back to that because a group of girls came down from Minnesota. The organization is Black Advocate, and they came down just to speak to me. But I brought B. Simone with me because she's so good with women as well. And just to know that, like when I walked in, they were just screaming, like just going crazy, and to know, like, wow, I am who God called me to be. I am, my feet is really on this ground, and I'm really walking into what I'm called to do. Just to see people stop me on the road, just to see people acknowledge me, give me my flowers, Mimi hitting me up randomly, thinking of me, or, hey, V, I want you to come on, you know, Hustle Softly podcast just to talk about your journey, your story. that to me means that I'm walking into my divine purpose. And it doesn't come easy. People just think because we could throw a table on the kitchen and we could throw a robe on bonnet. No, you actually have to mute the negative to get to the positive in your mind so you can start your day, because sometimes the negative will outweigh that and you back in your bed. So for me, I have to push on through and get to those positive thoughts and keep going, because I do have a purpose and I have a mission, and it's to serve.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So let's focus on that in regards to walking in your purpose. Yeah. What advice would you give for any women that are trying to walk in their purpose and keeping faith with the no's until they get the yes?
I always say a delay is never denial, and I always say there's a process before the promise, and keep your no's, but just know you have to make your yeses. So you have to walk in it. If a door shuts, try the other door, try the other lock, get a different key, and open that door. But you got to be that key. And you have to walk through that door, and you have to stay consistent. And the thing about it is, sometimes our faith get a little shaky, because sometimes we like, God, where you at? You just blessed me 2 days ago. What happened? That's a little slow the third day. But he's working on something big. It is not for you to understand. It's not for me to understand. It's not for her to understand, or Mimi. It's for us to just walk into it, because he's never going to fail us. He's never going to leave us astray. He's just going to keep us in the express lane, but we have to believe. And there is a house with your name on it. There's an opportunity with your name on it. There's a position with your name on it. We just have to believe it. So, yeah.
Amen.
It's the preacher for me. Come through with the word. I know what it is.
Girl, Mimi said, come on the podcast.
Let us know.
She said, come on to the podcast.
Can you tell us, or just anyone listening, what do you do to deal and manage with burnout?
For me, I take a second. And when you say burnout, that means the stress of the day.
The stress of your career, stress of life.
Yeah.
It just hit you.
For me, usually I used to break down, not cry, but I used to be in my head a lot. So my mom would be like, being a child, I can't keep praying now. You're doing it yourself. Get out of your own head. And I think for me, it's really centering yourself and really and truly reading. I'm into my word. So I'm let me just get into, I'm in the book of Genesis now. So I'm let me get into that. Let me really go to the top of the top. And then I get into my devotions, and I get into affirmations, and I get into listening to good music, listening to things that's going to help me refuel myself. And then of course my peers, B. Simone, she's so dumb. So it's when I call her, she puts me in a good mood, baby don't quay. So I'm I'm in a great world, because I have a community of people who bring me back to girl, you know who you are? Let's get it, let's go. Because we have our days. I'm not that girl to be fronting we don't got those days. We do, honey. I can take my hat off. You can see this leave out. I got it. Okay? So it's we have those moments where we have to have a community, but we also have to go back to our beliefs and say, you know what, God, show me and lead me. Because once that phone hangs up, you're back on your own. Once your mama leave, you're back on your own. You have to rewire your mind and say, you know what, I'm going to change the way I think. I'm going to change the way I look on certain things. My outlook on, you got to change your whole moment so you could just succeed on what you want to do. So for me, it's just really building a community of people that support me and talking to them, and then also to reading and listening to great things in my ear gates.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll interject real quick. I
and
know you got
skits too makes me happy. Comedy makes me happy.
But I do wanna commend you, V, because as much as you said those people pour into you, you pour into other people. Yeah. Even when we connected, you sent me scriptures every other day.
Yes.
That you have discernment, so you might have felt the spirit or not. But that says a lot. You know what I mean? So just as much as those people that you said, you do the same thing. And I think that's important with relationships, that we're not just taking from people, but we're also pouring back into them.
Yeah. And that's a fact, because I used to think when you help people, they'll get back fueled up, and then you well, what about me again? I'm weak. My battery on a 0, but all my friends are just good. Why? Because you help them, you're telling them what to do. So I think I found my time where I help, but I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to overextend my hand, because when it's time for me to call somebody else's phone, it keep going back to dial Tonisha. You're not picking up the phone. You're not texting me back, but thank God I don't have those issues, but I felt I had those issues, but it was all me. Girl, just stop overthinking it. Just know, people care and they love you, you know, and maybe you don't have the same, maybe your heart is not the same as theirs. And I always got to look at it like I'm going to go above and beyond what sometimes friends may be like, oh, I'm just going to give you what I give you. But thank God I don't got them type of friends. I got my supporters. I got my people who love me and adore me. And yeah, I may overthink some things, but it's more of like, girl, just do what you do and don't change your heart for nobody. So I'm the same person, just different bank accounts now. You know, right. Different moments now, you know.
How do you like create that boundary with your friends though? Because I know you guys are all busy. Like you said, sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. So how do you create that boundary?
Well, I'm gonna be very honest. And that was like way back when I first started, because again, like I'm such a friendly person. I had to pull back. I had to be guarded, because I just know like when you have a different type of sauce than everybody else and a different calling on your life, you got to move different. You can't be where everybody else at. You know, if you know you're a magnet and you know that you're a special being, you can't move the way somebody else has moved. So you have to like move a certain way. So now if I'm calling B. Simone, if I'm calling DC, if I'm calling Quay, if I'm calling Lala, if I'm calling, they're going to pick up the phone. Okay? Because again, it's just like I'm that person to people to be like, okay, V don't ask for something, so what's going on with her, or how does this work? So I think for me, I have my boundaries, you know, and I set them, they set theirs, and we keep it moving. But like I said, I have really good friends that it's nothing for me to call them at 5 in the morning and they pick up for me. It's nothing for me to tell them something I don't hear it in the streets. It's nothing for me to go over their house and I'm not being judged, and vice versa, because I feel like you have to be a safe place for your friends, you know, because the industry could get rough, you know, it could get, you know, to a place where it's like not happy, you know, and we got to make sure we check on our loved ones. So I'm that vessel and they are too. So I try to this season, my circle gets tinier and tinier, and I love it because that means I'm growing. And that means I don't have the same fragrance like everybody else anymore. And my conversations has got different, you know?
Period.
So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I also love your style.
Girl.
you was doing your thing.
She dressed down, but she's
but
still
it's still like it's just right. Like
Thank
okay,
you, sis. I literally was like,
through.
let me just throw this together and call it a day.
And
it worked.
Right, you know, them old things.
Them little old things, child. Yes.
So I know that you did the red carpet for BET Awards.
Yes.
That's for that.
Thank you.
What are some of your like fashion influences?
With people, like
Yeah, just in general.
Okay. I'm a girl that's like very like so simple, but still like, okay, that's V coming down the hallway. But I'm very much like a Tiana's like a very inspiration. Like Missy Elliott is one of the people that I love. Janet. I love Cher. I'm just very like, my style is very like 80s, 90s, but it is me too. So whatever I feel like I'm going to throw on, you know, because I was going to go to, before all of this, I wanted to go to SCAD. I wanted to do like fashion. I wanted to style people. I wanted to do whatever. And then I wanted to do radio. And then I was like, God said, baby, you deserve to be in front of the camera. So now we are here.
Okay.
But I mean, my style's all over the place. I don't have like a set style. I love black. I love creams. I love nudes. I love all these other funky colors. But whatever I see, I just throw on.
I love it. Just
Yeah.
like you just mix it all together.
Yeah.
Just touch it.
Yeah.
It just works.
Yeah.
And I love how you're showing up as yourself authentically.
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
And I also love that you have a foundation, Pretty Victory.
Come
Can
on
you
now.
tell us more about that?
Just like I told sis a minute ago, I said I have an organization that came all the way from Minnesota. Black Advocate spoke to me, and we kind of tied our brands together. So the Pretty Victory and the Black Advocate, we just spoke to these young girls about mental health, self-esteem, and how to build their confidence. So that's what my organization is about, just building your confidence, mental health, and really just your self-esteem, and to work on that, because I love the mind, and I can't dig into anybody else's mind, but I always say, God, please give me the spirit of discernment, heighten it, you know, let me know when somebody's not feeling good, you know, because I'm just that person. I just want to talk, and I want to know, and I want to see how I can help. But sometimes it could be very draining, you know, to someone that's trying to help somebody when the other person doesn't want to get help. But when you have 12 beautiful young girls that's trying to break through and trying to get themselves together, it's like only thing you got to do is just listen and to hear. Because I, too, was once in their seat trying to yell and scream like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm hurting from something, you know, and I wanted to take that lead and to really help these girls. So I came up with that. And actually, me and Mimi went to the women's shelter. Got sponsored by Puma too, and we still got them. We still got them book bags. We still got them clothes and all that. We gotta do it. Yeah.
So can you tell us more about that process? Going to the women's shelter.
Well, yeah. So at that time, they actually had too much going on. Everybody was trying to give at the same time. So we have to go when it's not, because I think it was around a holiday or something when we tried to go. So I guess those peak times everybody wants to give, but so we have to find another time that but they were excited.
They were so excited, and like I said, me and Mimi did the business when we did my own palette. And it was beautiful. So I'm off. I'm girls. I'm a girl. Like, I love to hear. I like to help. I want to know. I want to feel what's going on. I just want to I could be on the phone all day just to hear somebody else's story and give them the best advice.
Girl, don't tell me that. I'll be like, listen, this is my number right now.
Like, seriously. So that's why I came up with that organization, because I wanted to, like, Pretty Victory is going to be a tour, and I want it to be a space where we're just going out and we're just speaking, so yeah.
I mean, you kind of just touched on it, because I was going to say, like, where do you see that going within the next 5 years?
Oh, a tour, opening a home for these girls if there's nowhere to go. I just feel like it's going to get done. It's in the process too. So, yeah.
That's dope.
So I have 2 final questions, I think. So I'll ask the deeper one.
You can run it up. You know you're my girl child. We here.
So being that your spirituality is a top priority.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that piece of you in an industry full of demons?
Jesus. Wow. It's go back to having that discernment. We work with all kinds of people. You know that. All different personalities, all different people that are shady, who loves you, who don't love you. Who care but don't care, who see money on you. But I love it. I love being in that space, because I'm able to see who's who. I'm able to touch your hand and say it's gonna be all right. I'm able to match your energy too. Hey, boo. I'm able to sweet out who's who. I'm ready. I'm able to just be in that circle, but I'm able to respect somebody, because I've always learned to mask how I feel. Because I just don't know who. No one. People in this industry, they know me, but they have no clue. So it's like I just love to be around different types of energy, but I know when it's my time to get up on up, I'm going to get up on up and I'm going to leave the door, wide open for somebody else to come in, because I can't deal with it. But I think, too, I just love it. I think, God's going to put you in rooms to be a light, and that's what I'm called to do. So I don't mind who is who. Just respect me, I respect you. We keep it moving, because when I go home, I like to sleep. I'm in my bed. I like the sweet sleep. So whatever goes on behind closed doors or in the same area of me, all I got to do is just smile and, say keep going, or, I see you, And that's the gift that is given to me. And then you have to ask God for it too. Like, God, I want to know who's who to help, So I love it. I mean, I like hanging around different people that I don't know. And I like to see different energies and personalities, so I could speak to them or, laugh with them or do whatever it is, because it's a lot. It's a lot of people, and you don't know what everybody's going through.
Absolutely.
You don't know.
And you are the light. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are the light. Yes. So my last question is, we talked about manifestation.
Yes.
So what are you manifesting right now? Are there some people or projects, or maybe it's a different type of position, maybe creative director or
Come on
something.
Now.
Like, let's put it out there. Yeah. Like, what do you want to do next, or what's on the horizon?
One thing about me that you're gonna always learn is I'm a mute girl. Like, I'll be on mute. You ain't gonna know until it's dropped somewhere.
That's true.
Or like on the page. But what I can say, in this season, I am manifesting all things Pretty Vee for me. And when I say all things Pretty Vee, I mean that just like y'all buy tickets to Beyonce and the lines wrapped around the corner, that's what Pretty Vee needs, right? Okay. And I think everybody supported me for years on years on merchandise and products and laughter and coming to Wildin' Out shows, but you guys haven't seen Pretty Vee on stage. You know, you guys haven't came to a live show when it was herself, you know, by herself or whatever. So that's what we're doing right now. We're in this season of pull up to Pretty Vee show, you know, pull up and see her, you know, pull up and buy a ticket, you know. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Just, you know, pull up and see her, you know, and it's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, that's what we, you know, come buy a ticket, you know, sell a show. The show's out. Yeah.
Well, we'll be there.
I'm so proud.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you,
From the first covers that I saw you all the way to now. You're doing big old Harper's Bazaars and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm proud.
You really about to make me cry, because even when I look at you, I'm just like, wow, this Grind Pretty was really in the beginning, you know, and you took a chance. You know, you took a chance on me, and you know, being in that season of Pretty Vee this, Pretty Vee that, and still to this day, the name is ringing, right? But you seen it firsthand to be like, this girl is beautiful, but not only is she beautiful, she's a light. She cares. She's, you know, hustling hard. She's grinding pretty. You know, she's in that space of doing what she does, and you really was like, hey, I want to be on the cover. I want her to be on my cover, but I also want to sow a seed into her to do her own palette. And for a woman like yourself to take a chance on another female, that I give you your flowers, you know, and I ask God to give
Don't
you.
start this.
No, seriously.
Don't do it.
Seriously, I ask God to give you more flowers, you know, because you're deserving of that, because you are a rose. And when you know you're a rose, nobody could dim you, nobody could take you away from that, nobody could put you in a spoiled water. You are a growing plant. And I pray that God pour blessings over you and just continue to walk with you and talk with you and keep you in the express lane with him. And even if you go off these pit stops that we normally do, I ask that God bring you back to the express lane with him so you can see what he has for you in this season. And I pray blessings over this podcast, that it will go further, you know, not just because I'm on it, you know, but, you know, just because the people who come and sit, they will hear you guys and they would understand what you're trying to do and she's trying to do and she's trying to do, that it would just keep pushing the envelope, because you know a lot of people, you know, but ask God to give you the people that he needs for you to interview, not just because they're a face or a name. Ask him to give you the right people to sit with you, to speak life into you and to speak their business in front of you guys. So I just thank you guys so much for just having me. Seriously.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. Like, people get so shocked. People be so confused when I come on podcast. They be like, it is gonna be funny or she gonna be serious. It's like, I'm gonna give you both, you know. But I have to give you. I graduated from an HBCU, you know. So
come on,
right?
HBCU.
I got some sense now. So you know, I'm just always honored. I don't despise small. I gravitate to people who are coming up and doing it, and I want to be a part of the process, because I know that you are headed to your promise. You know, you already living it. You're a mother. You know, you're a great mother. You're a great friend. Even when you may not think that you're doing a great job, your work doesn't go unnoticed. You know, so it's just like, why not be a part of this process? Because you have me a part of your process with Grind Pretty. You know, I will be here, and whatever Uber, whatever car service, whatever car I got to get in to get here.
Girl, you scared me on Uber. I was like, he gonna leave us.
Right. Whatever we got to do, we going to pull up for me, because you've always stayed the same. The temperature has always been great. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so
Vina,
much.
thank you so much. Or Pretty Vee, thank you.
Girl, you
so
call me
much.
Vina, girl. You know. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, taking
Yeah, for
the
sure.
time
Thank you.
out. We love you.
Thank you.
Flowers all to you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.